In this video, I'm gonna take you through our more recent trip and I'll show you fun places to visit, delicious food to eat, and a couple tips to help you out along the way. All right, let's go. Tokyo. First thing you should be thinking about is, where should I stay? I'm just gonna save you time and tell you, just go with Shinjuku. It's a great place for first timers. It's fun, it's lively, there's tons of things to see, tons of things to do and eat. We stayed in 3 different hotels in Shinjuku, including this beast right here, Kabukicho Tower. Kabukicho Tower was pretty cool. It's a brand new hotel. It was like right in the heart of the city. And let's be honest, when you're thinking Tokyo, you're thinking bright neon lights, like Blade Runner vibes, you know? You're basically thinking of Kabukicho. But there are many tourist traps in the area and it could be a bit seedy. That said, there are some little gems there like Golden Gai and Omoide Yokocho. That's why I recommend staying south of Kabukicho and just visiting these areas. Of the 3 we stayed at, the Knot was probably our preference. I thought it was in a great location. It's right by this park. We got breakfast at this awesome cafe in the park every morning. They had delicious matcha lattes. They had these super fluffy souffle pancakes. Never had anything like it in my life. And that's a great segue to my next topic here. Tokyo's food and drink scene is on another level. I'm gonna share some of our favorite spots on the trip that you've gotta check out. Anytime you hear the word yokocho, there's many different yokocho across Japan, but essentially yokocho is a small alleyway filled with restaurants and bars, and izakaya essentially. It's a great spot to enjoy some delicious chicken skewers, yakitori, ramen, and other local drinks. It's actually perfect for foodies looking for that old school, authentic Tokyo food scene. Golden Gai, it's become really popular for its narrow alleys filled with over 200 tiny themed bars, each with its own little unique vibe. Honestly, I'd say it's a must visit if you're a first timer. 2 bars we really liked in Golden Gai. First, Albatross. And no surprise there really, I think it's one of the most famously rated bars. I didn't know that, we kind of just stumbled into it. And for good reason, it's got a really cool vibe. And we stayed up in this little nook on the 2nd floor. I definitely recommend checking it out. It was a lot of fun and the drinks were actually pretty good. The second is Bar Whiska. It's kind of the complete opposite vibe. It's very low key. It's almost kind of quiet and the bar has just stacks and stacks and stacks of jazz CDs. I highly recommend it. It's just got a very cool, authentic Tokyo vibe to it. Moving on to our favorite restaurants. I honestly think Yukatsu Motomura and Shinjuku was our favorite meal of all of Japan. They're known for their beef cutlets that you cook on this little hot plate at your table. And I'm telling you, this was the best beef we had in the entire trip. The beef is so tender, so melty. You can see it. It's all marbled. It's delicious.
Oh, you're professional.
And it probably cost us about 30 to 40 US dollars. Favorite ramen in Tokyo. All right. I'm a ramen head and I got the perfect spot for you if you love ramen. It's Ramen Tatsunoya Shinjuku.
Saying currently online. Actually moved up a little bit for that place there. We'll see if it's worth it.
Believe me, just wait it out. It's totally worth it.
All right, Meg. I want to know what you think. Oh yeah, you got it on your cheek too. Alright, I'll let you guys know next.
They're famous for their tsukemen. Tsukemen is a kind of brothless ramen where you have the noodles and the broth separate, and the broth is just concentrated broth. So you're taking your noodles and you're dipping it in your side broth. It's phenomenal. Trust me on this, even if you love a standard ramen or a standard tonkotsu, it's one of my favorites too. Just trust me on this, get the tsukemen, it is fantastic. All right, favorite curry shop. I love Japanese curry. It's hands down one of my favorite Japanese comfort foods. Kento took us to this awesome, like very well-known local curry spot called Bondi Curry. Apparently it was also the winner of the first Kanda Curry Grand Prix in 2011. And let me tell you, this place lived up to the hype. It had such creamy and savory curry. And make sure when you go, you get the classic beef. It's delicious. Hey. So our favorite surprise spot was also a curry dish, not to double down on curry, but this was a keema curry dish. I never had keema curry before this. It's originally an Indian curry dish made of minced ground meat and other spices and vegetables. And Mokubaza really adopted the dish and made it their own. They got super creative with it. They actually make their own spices and they add egg, avocado, and cheese to their dishes. And you could have all different combinations of all three. Sushi, everyone knows it's awesome. So let me tell you something that you probably don't hear a lot. Even at some of those lower tier sushi spots, you're gonna get equal to greater than sushi than some of the more expensive, higher end sushi spots in the States. We went to 2 different malls and they were like, I wouldn't say like the lower end, for what cost us around $30, $40, we would have paid over $100 per person. So don't really fret about where you go. Just use your Google Maps to find a nice spot. You'll have a great time. We also had the pleasure of going to Kento and Erika's for some homemade sushi.
Watch the sushi master in his natural habitat as he peels the bonito flakes.
Comes out like that.
Ooh.
Cannot be too thick, not too thin. But this one's good.
And it was delicious.
There we go.
So it's bonito in
Kelp. Seaweed. I'll just put it here.
ah.
Big chunks. Wow. It's so soft.
Sorry, not that you can necessarily replicate that, but I just wanted to tell you, it was pretty awesome. If you are traveling with friends and you want to have a great date night, here's a little sample of what we did one night that I think you'd like. First, we kicked off the evening with a little nomikai at this fun speakeasy that Kento and Erika introduced us to. Oops, that was supposed to be a secret entrance.
It's so cool with the fire. Like the whole top layer is on.
You're basically having an absolute old-fashioned, right?
Sugar cube right now.
Right. Oh.
After nomikai, we had some dinner at Afuri Ramen. I mean, let's be honest, you can never really have too much ramen. The spot was great too because it had this freaking delicious chahan with this like super savory chopped up chashu. Then we wrapped up the night at Hakata for some epic karaoke. Last thing I really loved about Tokyo is the music scene. So back in 2010 when I visited Japan, I met up with my friend Jamu and he took me to this random concert. I loved it. It was amazing. I remember every part of it. And I really believe that music is like one of the best ways to experience any culture. So do yourself a favor, just do a little research around what's going on at the time you're planning to visit and just grab some tickets and go. This is probably gonna be my best advice, so pay attention. As you plan your travels, make sure to mix it up with a balance between city and nature. We did a 2-day, 1-night trip to Hakone, sandwiched between our time in Tokyo, and it was exactly what we needed. Hakone is a super relaxing resort town outside of Tokyo, surrounded by mountains and perfect for a relaxing escape from the high energy of the city. It's famous for its onsen, stunning views of Mount Fuji, and the picturesque Lake Ashi. In terms of getting there, I recommend the Hakone Free Pass. This little ticket is your all-in-one key to exploring Hakone. It's pretty much a transportation and discount pass that gives you unlimited access to 8 different travel modes in Hakone, including trains, buses, boat rides, and even a ropeway with epic views of Mount Fuji and Owakudani Valley. It also includes a round-trip ticket from Tokyo to Hakone, so you don't have to worry about figuring out separate tickets. Where to stay in Hakone? There are several distinct neighborhoods in Hakone, each offering a different experience. We stayed in Gora. In terms of hotel, we stayed at Hotel Indigo. First of all, beautiful location along the Haya River. The rooms were beautiful. It was just like the perfect blend between traditional and modern. And you also had your own little onsen in your bedroom. They also had a kind of communal spa where that fresh, natural onsen getting pumped in. But we didn't really experience many people there. I felt like the 4 of us had the whole place to ourselves the entire time. It was fantastic, and I think we're Team Indigo going forward. After you settle into Hotel Indigo, head over to the Hakone Ropeway. So we took the Hakone Ropeway from Gora all the way up the mountain and had awesome scenic views. You'll pass over these really cool smoky landscape of Owakudani Valley. It has these really cool steaming sulfur vents that make you feel like you're on another planet. So you'll take that ropeway all the way down to the base of the mountain at Lake Ashi. Then when you're at the base, you're gonna head over to the Hakone sightseeing cruise. It's completely weird. I don't get it. I don't know why it's like pirate themed, but it's actually pretty cool.
So go. Arr, we're going on the pirate cruise. Just like I read about in my Japanese history, the Hakone area was known for their pirates, their lake pirates.
Yeah. We're looking for the One Piece.
We're looking for the One Piece.
And it really is a beautiful, relaxing cruise across the lake. And then when you get off the ship, you could do a couple things. You could take a nice little stroll through town.
We are at Lake Hakone, the natural habitat of the Japanese from Hakone.
We also went for a nice little hike in the forest.
This is when I pan this way and I'm doing a selfie, woo, and there's something crazy behind me running around, stalking us. This is where it begins.
Hey guys, we're gonna live forever.
This is where it begins.
Last, there's plenty of cultural artsy stuff. Not usually my cup of tea. I'm usually on the complete opposite side of that spectrum, but I will say, because Hakone is so beautiful and they have this amazing open air museum, it doesn't feel like you're in a traditional museum. Sorry if you do like that kind of thing, that's great. But if you don't, this is just one of those things you kind of have to do, and you can get some cool pictures out of it. This is important, where to eat. First things first, you're going to need to make reservations. Lucky for you, I have some great suggestions. Gora Brewery and Grill. This spot was opened in 2017 by celebrity chef Nobu. You know Nobu Sushi? That's the guy. It combines some tasty Japanese food with a microbrewery on site.
She goes with no netting, nothing. She's just scoops them out.
Oh, I've seen
No,
her.
she takes. Yeah, she's amazing.
I've seen her.
Yeah, she's on news and stuff.
I'm like, big deal. You ever hear one of them was the girl was scooping the bees?
Hakone Kitchen and Bar Izakaya. This place was great, and it's run by this one guy who's both owner, cook, greeter, seater, the whole 9 yards. And I don't know how he does it, but he's just hustling and serving you food this entire time. And everything was on point. Make sure you get some tsukine. The egg and tsukine combo is delicious. His homemade katsu curry was incredible, and we really loved his karaage. And the third and last place I'd recommend is Bakery and Table. On our last day, Sigel and I took a little boys trip down from Gora to the lake. We did a second little hike that day.
100%. I mean, maybe they, no, I think they planted it. So Gail and I, check it out, walking through the forest here. Not too shabby, not too shabby.
It's beautiful.
Beautiful. So Fuji-san like 3 times. Amazing. All right.
And then walked over to this cool spot bakery and table for some breakfast.
I can literally smell roasted green tea. Can you smell that?
I smell the matcha. Smells good.
Sigel and I had a nice little mandate with a scenic view of Lake Ashi. It was delightful. And if you do go, don't forget to try their local beer, brewed with water straight from Mount Fuji.
Hey, Megan Fuji-san.
Once Japan's imperial capital for over 1,000 years, this city is a treasure trove of history and culture. We did 2 days and 2 nights in Kyoto, and honestly, we could have easily done more. Our first night, we went the more traditional route and stayed at a Ryokan. Ryokan is a traditional Japanese inn and offers a more authentic experience than what you would experience in a Western-styled hotel. We stayed at the Momiji-ya Ryokan, which was in the more mountainous northern part of the city. One of the highlights there was our kaiseki dinner. Kaiseki is a very traditional Japanese multi-course dinner that typically imbues seasonality into the dishes and are presented in this beautiful layout. And the cool thing is, we didn't just have kaiseki in our rooms at the Ryokan. They brought us to a really beautiful area off-site for our kaiseki called Kawadoko. Then after kaiseki, back at the Ryokan, you can schedule time for your own private hot open air bath. This was pretty cool. There's different areas you can choose for your private hot bath, but it was the perfect thing we needed after a long trip to Japan and all the high energy-ness of Tokyo. The second leg of that trip, we did go back into city center and stayed at an Airbnb in Kyoto. So here's how we spent our next 2 days back in the center of Kyoto. First, started the day with a little morning tofu waffle right outside our Airbnb, followed by Sasaki Sake Distillery.
Yes. Straight from the streets of Kyoto. The famous sake bar.
So the cool thing about this distillery is you purchase these coins and then you use it to distill all your different sake selections.
Okay. Kanpai.
Come
Then you can also use your tokens at the gashapon machine, telling you what prize to redeem at the front desk. We won this cool ochoko and also this coaster.
Sick. Then we headed over to Tenryuji Temple. And did a little walk through the famous Arashiyama bamboo forest. After Arashiyama, we took a nice little matcha ice cream and biru break along the Katsura River before making a quick stop at Soso, where Kento and I picked up some pretty dope Haori style jackets.
Hi.
In the evening, we had dinner at Kyoto Yakiniku Hiro Gion Yamana. We could just call it Hiro for short. This place was a crowd favorite. This is a yakiniku style Japanese barbecue where you cook your meat on a grill, and it was just a lot of fun. It's wagyu.
Whenever you're ready.
Soy sauce base.
Enjoy.
Yeah, very good job.
Soy sauce bake.
Soy sauce bake.
Yeah, I should make Shoyu Bay. Oh my god.
Shoyu Bay.
Shoyu Bay. It's a great stew. It's a great.
Copyright
Oh man.
If you are looking for that authentic wagyu experience and just want to have some fun with friends, highly recommend Hito. I'm also going to add my favorite bar in Kyoto and probably my favorite bar in all Japan at this point. This spot was also in Gion. We hit it up right after yakiniku. And it was just a super chill, small bar tucked into this side street. I say that because I've never seen this before. There was all these bottles on the shelves behind the bartender and they had people's names on them. I ended up learning that these are called snaku, snack bars, snaku. And it's just that. It's a small wooden bar with only 6 or 7 stools and some Japanese bar snacks, like nuts and crackers. It was one of the more authentic experiences I had in Japan and a perfect way to top off the night. Our next day was only a half day in Kyoto, so we decided to head back to Gion, which I think was our favorite area. We took a nice leisurely stroll along the Kamo River.
Oops. This is my chicken bodu, bro. Another chicken bodu, bro. Here. And then it's me, my girl, right here. Right? Right? Yeah.
We had this incredible meal at this izakaya overlooking the river, and I had one of my favorite meals, sukiyaki. I also want to make the point here that Japan's egg culture is awesome. If you have the opportunity to have raw egg and meat, you can dip it in it, do it. It's awesome. Then after lunch, we hit up 2 of my favorite places in Kyoto, and these 2 you really must go see, and that's Ninenzaka and Sanenzaka. Ninenzaka is where you'll find those cobblestone roads surrounded by ancient architecture. In my opinion, this is where you really feel like you've stepped back in history. Sanenzaka is nearby and similar, but it also has these local little shops and is a perfect place to pick up souvenirs. If you're into spice, I definitely recommend checking out this spice shop. It's packed with all kinds of spices, curries, and chili oils. I stocked up on some super tasty furikake, and it made the perfect souvenir too. All my friends loved it. Pro tip, goes great with onigiri or anytime you want to add a little crunch to your lunch. I just gotta say, Kyoto ended up being our favorite part of the whole trip, and I would definitely recommend doing more than 2 days if you're deciding to go there.
We approach the end of our long journey through Kyoto's quiet western city called Amachi. Hiroshima.
Hiroshima was the final stop on our long journey, and we wanted to try something new, and I'm really glad we did. In terms of things to do, you really need to go to Hiroshima Peace Memorial Museum. I know I said I'm not into like artsy cultural museum stuff, but this is very different. And I'll admit, honestly, as an American, I was a little nervous. I fully expected some like Game of Thrones shaming as soon as I walked into that place. Shame! But I was really moved by how tastefully the museum was done and how kind everybody was. There was no finger pointing. It was really about calling out just how horrific war is and how devastating atomic warfare can be. I walked away feeling a lot more humbled, a lot more informed. All right, now for you foodies. So Hiroshima has some pretty tasty gems here. Here's 3 that I recommend. Hiroshima-styled okonomiyaki. Here's what differentiates it from Osaka style. Hiroshima style layers thin yakisoba noodles in their okonomiyaki. And then they layer in all the ingredients like cabbage, pork, fried egg, versus mixing it all together. I just felt like every time I took a bite, I was trying a little bit of everything. It was just the perfect balance. The second is this incredible izakaya. The karage was just unreal. We also learned about TKG, Tamago Kake Gohan. Check out this cool video with Kento Sensei teaching us some TKG.
Perfect egg. Raw egg, baby. Just make a circle. Like that. And what you do is tilt the dish a little. Soak in. Yeah, right there. That's the magic sauce, right? The chopstick, let the science do the trick for you. Man, TKG, man. Tamago kake gohan.
Last up is the seafood. Since Hiroshima is located on the coast, it's really no surprise that they have great seafood. Kento took us to this seafood spot that honestly took seafood to a whole nother level for us. I mean, check out this platter. Not only visually stunning, but also kind of intimidating for us gaijin. Not used to seeing a whole squid on a platter like that. And then for you sushi lovers, I mean, this place prides itself on its fish. They bring in fresh catches every day and they'll prepare the fish any way you want. So, you're welcome. Now, we only spent 2 days in Hiroshima, so the first part was in the city, and the second part, we did a day trip out to Miyajima Island. It's just a short ferry ride away, and it's packed with fun things to do.
We are in the confectionery capital of Miyajima.
You can explore all these little shops. You can indulge in street food.
My. Here's your stick, Megan. Oh.
Miyajima is also famous for its giant Torii Gate. Pro tip, if you catch it at high tide, the Torii Gate looks like it's floating on the water. I think Kento actually took a pretty good picture of it here. I think that captures it pretty well. If you like this video, do me a favor, hit that like button, please subscribe. I'm going to be doing my recent Ireland and Scotland trip in my next video. Thanks, and see you on the other side.